Hello, my name is Joshua Campbell. I live here in Adelaide with my wife and our two small sons. And we moved here actually just over a year ago from Sydney because we found it was getting too pricey, too busy, and just not an environment we really felt was conducive to starting a new family. And we'd already had our one son, and we decided before our second child was coming along, which we didn't know would be a son at the time, that we needed to be making some decisions, not just for the immediate future, but for uh, steps towards our long-term future. So we did make that move on our second anniversary, coming over here, not knowing what would unfold, but knowing that we had to, take a chance and just figure it out as we went. But we had some ideas of how we hoped things would play out upon moving here that haven't really panned out the way we thought, which has made it a lot more difficult, a lot more trying, and a lot more stressful. But at the same time, in light of all of that, we have been granted an opportunity that would not have come across our scope of vision had we been locked into something else and had the traditional, normal 9 to 5 type job secured for us from the get go or fairly early on. And so it actually will work out for our good that things didn't go according to what we thought they would when we moved here, because in the long run, we've locked into something far better than we would have been able to find, quite likely, had we been immersed in other things. So having said that, my wife and I in the last couple of months have launched into a whole new direction, which is both exciting, but it's also daunting, a little scary, and full of a lot of hard work, a lot of learning, a lot of mindset shifting, as it were. But we know that anything in life worth having is worth the sacrifice, and that the good things don't come easy. Rome wasn't built in a day. There's all these idioms that say the same thing. And we know that not only for our own sake, but for our spouse's sake and for our children's sake, we have to do whatever it takes to secure the best possible future we can. Now, our quest towards the future is always undergirded by our faith. But at the same time, there is also practical steps we do have to take, without which nothing ultimately will really get done or achieve the success that is possible. Because all the people that you can look to, whether it's Bill Gates or Richard Branson or any of these other successful people, Eric Worre is a great one that we follow. And all of these people will be the first to tell you that it is tenacity and hard work that gets you where you need to go. And yes, having old-fashioned faith is good, but faith apart from works and doing anything will only get you so far. And so we know that we have to apply ourselves. We have to be willing to do the hard yards because we know the payoff will be worth it, not just for ourselves or for one another, but for the well-being of our children, not just for the practical ability to provide for them, but the inspiration, the example we are setting for them. We are setting them up for life, to really be able to know what it means to live life fully and completely, and not just in a state of mediocrity and apathy. And we decided that we don't want to go down the traditional JOB road because ultimately it's not going to get us where we want to be and allow us to do what we want to do. We spend far too much time as human beings giving other people control of our lives, allowing them to be in the driver's seat, and we quite often end up building their dream and fulfilling their desires more than we do our own. There's very little us in our day, more often than not. And we decided we want to step out of that rat race, and we don't want to be one of those people that spends our whole lives wishing we could do something else. Meantime, we're spending all our time barely getting by, building somebody else's dream while they're living it up. And we decided enough's enough. We've got one life to live, and we need to make the most of it. So we're going in a new, exciting direction, like I say, which is great. But it's also full of uncertainties, full of a lot of praying, a lot of believing by faith in what is possible and what will be, despite what our eyes see as being the case right now. But alongside that, as I have opportunity, I've been working on my writing, and my wife has got some writing aspirations as well. But her foremost gifting at this point is the business, and we're working together on that. And as I can get my writing done more, I will be endeavoring to be putting myself into the position of a published author as opportunity allows. I've got the first draft of my first book's manuscript done. It's in the can. It just needs to be edited and then published, but that all requires money. Hence, part of the reason we're working on our business to help us have financial freedom, but also to be able to finance things like my writing initially until it starts paying for itself as some books are out there. So whether it's the writing or it's our business, our primary job is to provide for our children and to be a benefit to others. And our desire is that we can inspire, motivate, and encourage others along the way. So I will be putting up videos, as my wife will be doing the same, just to encourage, inspire, maybe coach, mentor, share from our experience what we've learned, what we are learning, what we want to learn, not espousing that we have all the answers, but rather we are simply seeking the answers. We are seekers more than providers of answers. And we know that, as the old X-Files idiom says, the truth is out there. And we're willing to look for what truth it is that composes what we're meant to do, what we're meant to be, and how we can impact the world around us. So as such, I've opened up, aside from our personal joint Facebook, I've opened up, as my wife has, a more business-related Facebook, and I've got 2 groups on there. So if you are into history, into writing, into intellectual endeavors or creative endeavors of that nature, then there's one group you're welcome to join. If you're more of an entrepreneur, you're into business-related stuff, marketing, mentoring, coaching, things like that, there's another group on my page that you can join. Or if you find you can cross over between one or the other, you're welcome to join both. And furthermore to that, please share this with everybody and anybody you can and bring them on board. Because the desire here is not to say, I have it all figured out. The desire is to say, I'm willing to do what it takes to figure it out. My wife is willing to do the same. So we intend to be a powerhouse couple that can inspire, motivate, mentor, encourage, educate, and every other positive for other people that we can. Starting with 2016 as our launch pad, we are endeavoring to go in a new direction for the long term. So 2016 is giving us the opportunity to put the building blocks in place, to build the foundation on which we can not only support ourselves and our future and our children, whether it's the 2 sons we have now or any that we might have in the future of children, whether it's through adoption or otherwise, which is on our hearts. We endeavor to not only build a foundation for them, but for everybody else and anybody else that we can bring on board, encourage, inspire, and give a help to. We never ask for a hand out, but a hand up is always needed from one another now and then. And we're willing to be in the position to offer that hand up to anybody who sincerely needs it and wants it. So if you're interested in either of these groups or just connecting with me in general, please feel free to add me. Feel free to follow me. Feel free to join me on my Facebook here or on Twitter or on LinkedIn. I will make sure I have that information available on my Facebook as well. So please feel free to join me in whatever capacity you prefer that is available that I'm signed up with. And let's start a dialogue. Let's start a community. Let's do our part to change the world around us for the better. One person, one marketing opportunity, one book, one conversation, one act of service at a time. And let's see if we can't start a new revolution where we can help people take control of their lives a little more instead of giving it to somebody else. And at the end of the day, there can be more of them in their day than everybody else running the show for them. Our job is to serve others, yes. But there's a difference between serving others and giving other people control of your life. There's only one who deserves to have control of your life. And as you learn to harness the abilities, the talents, the skills that you've been given, you've been granted, then hopefully you can use them to not only learn a little more about him, but more importantly, learn a little more about the world he created and that he put you in the middle of to be a blessing to. So if you want to join me, I would love to chat with you. I'd love to get to know you, hear your story, and see how I can contribute to it, how my wife can contribute to it, and how together, as a team, we can contribute to the world at large. Thank you very much, and I look forward to hearing from you and seeing if we can't make a difference together. So feel free to pass this on to anybody you know, have them join us, and let's see if we can't start a revolution that is going to benefit the world around us. Thanks so much for listening, and hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you on the next video. I'll be putting out videos probably once a day or as often as I can. So stay tuned. Thanks a lot.